Right now, somewhere, a person is controlling their phone with their tongue. Not a joke, not a prototype stuck in a lab, a real product, sold today, that reads the tiny movements of your tongue against the roof of your mouth and turns them into clicks. And that's not even the strangest thing someone has tried. Humans have spent 70 years trying to find a better way to talk to a computer than typing and clicking, and some of those attempts are genuinely hard to believe happened. So stick around, because by the end, we get to the one where a person moved a cursor using nothing but a thought. Start in 1985 with a company called VPL Research and a founder named Jaron Lanier. He built something called the Data Glove, a bulky black glove wired with fiber optic sensors that tracked every bend of your fingers. Wave your hand, and a computer-generated hand waved back on screen. It sounds simple now. In 1985, it was borderline science fiction, and it planted the idea that your whole body could be the interface, not just your fingertips on a keyboard. Nintendo saw that glove and thought, let's put this in living rooms. In 1989, they released the Power Glove, a plastic gauntlet packed with pressure sensors meant to replace the controller entirely. Here's the proof it didn't quite work. The sensors were so imprecise that players couldn't reliably press a single button, let alone aim in a game. It became a punchline instead of a revolution, and today, unopened ones sell to collectors for hundreds of dollars, which is a strange kind of victory for a device that mostly failed at its one job.
So, hands didn't quite crack it. But while Nintendo was struggling with gloves, a completely different body part was already being tested by fighter pilots. Eye tracking dates back to military cockpits in the 1980s, where pilots needed to target a system just by looking at it, hands too busy to spare. The tech works by bouncing infrared light off your eye and measuring exactly where your pupil is pointed, dozens of times per second. Decades later, that same idea became one of the most important tools in assistive technology. People with severe paralysis, including physicist Stephen Hawking in his final years, have used eye tracking systems to write entire sentences using nothing but where they're looking. And that's the pattern worth noticing here. Nearly every strange control method that seemed like a novelty eventually became essential for someone who couldn't use a mouse or keyboard at all. Which brings us back to that tongue, because that idea has a longer history than you'd guess too. The device is called Mousepad, made by a company called Augmental, and it looks like a clear dental retainer. Inside it, a tiny sensor pad reads pressure and swipes from your tongue and sends them over Bluetooth. Move your tongue left, the cursor moves left. Press down, that's a click. It was originally built for people with spinal cord injuries who can't use their hands, and it works well enough that able-bodied people have started buying it too, just to try controlling a phone hands-free.
It sounds almost too strange to be real, using your tongue to scroll a web page. But it's the same story as the eye tracker. What starts as assistive technology for a small group of people often ends up rewriting what a computer interface even means. Which finally gets us to the strangest one, the thought control. In 1998, a stroke survivor named Johnny Ray became one of the first people in the world to have a neural implant placed directly into his brain, connected to electrodes that read the electrical activity of his own neurons. Researchers asked him to imagine moving his hand. His brain fired the same signals it always had, and the implant translated those signals into cursor movement on a screen. He learned, slowly, to move a mouse pointer using nothing but that imagined motion. That same basic idea is what companies like Neuralink are chasing today, decades later, with far more electrodes and far more precision, but it's the same principle Johnny Ray proved was possible in a hospital room in the 90s. Thought turned directly into input, with no hands, no eyes, no tongue involved at all.
So, from a glove that could barely register a button press, to a mouth guard that reads a tongue swipe, to a chip that reads a thought, The story isn't really about the weird gadgets. It's about how much effort humans have put into just being understood by a machine. The keyboard and mouse won because they were reliable, not because nothing better was ever tried. Subscribe so you don't miss it further videos. Thanks for the watch.